From surviving 19 assassination attempts to being the world's youngest president, this is the incredible story of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. The year was 1988 in the dusty Sahel region, a land of gold and ochre stitched together by the meanderings of River Niger. It is a land of stark beauty where life unfolds at a slower pace, dictated by the rhythms of the sun and of the seasons. It was at this unforgiving yet nurturing land in the small village of Kéra, Burkina Faso, on March 14th that Ibrahim Traoré was born. Traoré's childhood was a humble one. His family, though not wealthy, instilled in him the values of hard work, discipline, and a thirst for knowledge. Education was the way out of the cycle of poverty. Young Ibrahim excelled in his studies, his mind sharp, a beacon of promise. Driven by the insatiable curiosity, Traoré pursued higher education in the capital city of Ouagadougou. He enrolled at the University of Ouagadougou, a sprawling campus buzzing with the energy of young minds. It was there, amidst the lecture halls and libraries, that he delved into the world of geology, his chosen field of study. But fate had other plans for Ibrahim. Armed with a degree in geology and a heart filled with patriotic zeal, Traoré enlisted into the army. He traded his textbooks for combat boots, his pen for a rifle. The transition was stark. The reality was hitting him hard as a Sahel storm, but Traoré remained resolute. He specialized in anti-aircraft defense, his skills honed through rigorous training, both in Burkina Faso and in Morocco. Each exercise was a lesson, a testament to his commitment. He further was tested in the crucible of the Malian conflict, deployed as part of the UN peacekeeping mission. He proved himself again once in the ancient city of Timbuktu. Then, Traoré was a lieutenant and was remembered for his actions, both earning him respect by his superiors and his juniors. While Traoré honed his skills on the battlefields of Mali, back home, Burkina Faso was teetering on collapse. Decades of corruption, economic misalignment, and political instability had taken a toll. Jihadist insurgencies terrorized villages in Burkina Faso, displaced communities, and turned vast areas of Sahel into no-go zones. The government, paralyzed by inertia and crippling corruption, and seemed powerless. By 2022, Burkina Faso was a nation adrift, its future hanging in the balance, the people desperate for change and yearned for a new leader who will stand up for them. In order to restore security to the beloved homeland, the people of Burkinabe needed a savior, and in January 2022, the first coup was held by Commander Paul Henry Damiba. He toppled the then government of Rocher-Marc Christian and promised that he would return and swiftly put an end to the insurgencies. But his promises rang hollow, falling into intangible action. On September 30th, 2022, a new figure emerged from the shadows of Burkina's political scene. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a battle-hardened veteran of the Malian conflict, seized control of the government in a bloodless coup. At just the age of 34, he became the world's youngest head of state, a testament to the shifting sands of power on the African continent. Traoré's ascension was met with a mix of both apprehension and cautious optimism. He was an enigma, his motives shrouded in secrecy, his plans unclear, yet there was something about him, a quiet charisma, an unwavering determination that resonated with the people, especially the youth. They saw in him a glimmer of hope, a beacon of change, and suddenly the whispers of Sankara began to circulate in the streets of Burkina. Sankara had led Burkina from 1983 to 1987, upon which he was brutally assassinated. Following in the footsteps of Sankara, Traore preferred to shun the opulent trappings of power, preferring simple attire of military fatigues. And just like Sankara, he spoke passionately about Pan-Africanism, self-reliance, and the need to break free from the shackles of neocolonialism. Traore's popularity soared, fueled by his rhetoric and the hope that he represented. The old world order, with its entrenched power structures and neo-colonial legacies, were being challenged. New alliances were being forged, driven by decisions such as severing ties with France, Burkina Faso's colonial ruler. The presence of French troops on Burkinabe soil had long been a source of contention, seen by many as a symbol of colonial influence. Traore's echoes and sentiments of growing Pan-African movement declared that Burkina Faso destiny was its own to determine, free from external influence. With France out of the picture, Traore turned his attention to his new partners, countries that he believed shared the same vision of a multipolar world order. Russia was it. With its growing influence on the continent, emerged as a new ally. Moscow provided military equipment, training, and logistical support to Burkina Faso's armed forces, bolstering their capabilities in the fight against jihadist insurgencies. Traore, unfazed by the colonial criticism, remained defiant, urging that Burkina Faso had its own right to choose its own allies and chart its own course. In a bold move to assert Burkina Faso's economic sovereignty, Traore announced the launch of the nation's first gold refinery. This initiative, a direct challenge to the dominance of foreign corporations in the country's mining sector. This was met with both praise and skepticism. Traore's government also launched a crackdown on corrupt and deep-rooted problems that had plagued Burkina for decades. High-ranking officials subjected to illicit enrichment through embezzlement were arrested, sending shockwaves through the political and business elite. The message was clear: the days of impunity were over. The people, wary of being robbed of their future, applauded these bold moves. But the path to true independence, Traore soon realized, was fraught with obstacles. The jihadist insurgencies, despite setbacks, continued to pose a significant threat. The economy, while showing signs of resilience, was still grappling with the consequences of years of mismanagement and global economic downturn. 5 years into his rule, Captain Ibrahim Traoré remains an enigma and a figure of the future. He is the young leader who dared to challenge the old, the military strongman who promised to restore a nation's greatness. He is both reserved and revered and feared. His name whispered with a mix of hope and fear. His legacy is still being written, the ink still wet on the pages of history. Will he be remembered as the savior of Burkina Faso, or will he be remembered as just another African strongman?